Hi, and welcome to Elders Agro Services. Did I say Elders Agro Services? Oh, sorry. That was for last year. Well, all the same, Happy New Year and welcome to Elders Agro Integrated Services. Well, while trying to register the name last year, we got an information that we couldn't use it anymore. So the infusion of integrated into the name give it a much more wider audience, and so we are now known as Elders Agro Integrated Services, and all changes have been done on all our platforms. Also, sorry we couldn't get videos up to speed last year, and there are a whole lot waiting to be brought to you this year. Well, due to consultancy services, we had to be moving from state to state, city, town, trying to address so many issues, and it got the best of us. Welcome to 2024, and we're going to start this year with a bang. A lot of questions that came to me last year. How did you make your bed so big within a short period of time, especially between 5 to 6 weeks? I'm sure you had seen that in the broiler challenge when we had to deal with the Ross 308 of the Agritech group and the Arbor Acre of the Valentine group. And also questions like what medication chart and the rest. Well, feel free to go back to those previous videos. But I'm going to be answering those certain questions this year. And definitely you would want to be a part of our success story this year in order to ensure broiler performance and productivity. Have you ever heard the fact that there are some certain letters that can be of help to you to ensure that you can scale your broiler production to enviable heights? Well, stay tuned because I'm going to be showing you that when I'm back. We'll jump into it. Welcome to Elders Agro Integrated Services, where we educate, inform, and improve you on better ways to achieve efficient broiler performance and productivity. My name is Ebiamba Ebita David, MD Elders Agro Integrated Services, and also an agro-based entrepreneur with keen interest in broiler performance and productivity. There were questions that were asked of me last year from friends, even farmers, and all who were interested in the broiler farming. And what were those questions? How did you make your beds very big? What medications did you use? What booster did you give to them? So much questions came up. But the best I can say is please relax. There are no shortcuts to success, especially in the broiler business, as one must do the work to get the results. But I bring you good news. Do you know that the understanding of these letters, which I'm going to show to you, would help you succeed in this business this year, especially with high cost of feed and even the prices of DOCs that are also increasing? Now, what are these letters? H, Q, N, FP, BS, P, EM, and EM again. I guess you're wondering, but let's get into the understanding of these letters one by one, and then we'll see if by the time you use it, if you will not get those desired results that you feel you ought to be getting. I'll be right back. Thank you. Welcome back. But before I jump into today's activity, I want to thank our teaming subscribers. Please, you are so wonderful. I'm grateful to have you at my back, pushing me every day in order for me to bring more content to you. I really want to thank you for how you followed us during our broiler challenge between the Agritech group that produces Ross 308 and the Valentine group that produces the Arbor Acre. Surprisingly, we got a 5,000 view rate for that, and from Elders Agro Integrated Services, we're saying a big thank you to you. And if you've not subscribed and you're watching this video, please do well to subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you will be informed with the so many videos that will come at, and follow us and then still scale up your own activities in order to get the desired results you need. Now let's get back into those letters we're talking about. Let's start with the first letter, H. H here stands for housing. Many don't know that the type of structure or housing built for their beds is the first basic step and key to broiler success. Be it using the deep litter system or the cage system, it's important that the type of house you use is structured out properly as it allows for temperature regulation and promote free flow of ventilation. No matter how good your DOCs or your baby chicks are when they are brought in, if the housing is not properly done, it would affect their growth and outcome. Number two, Q, and that stands for quality chicks, especially with continuity. Underline that word, continuity. I know you have heard this from many content creators as regards broiler farming, but honestly, that's the truth. Do yourself a favor this year and ensure that you get quality chicks, and also stick to a particular brand for a particular time. I have farmers which this year they are with Ross 308, this year, next season they are trying another badge, the next month they are trying another badge, and they keep on complaining because they have not stuck with a particular brand and they can't even tell the productivity of that particular brand. So it's always advisable that while you get the quality chicks from your vendor or from the source you get them from, ensure of their quality, and also try to stick to a particular brand because it helps in terms of feedback and evaluation, both to the company if you deal directly with the company, or to your supplier, so that you can know the level of growth. And even if you may wish to switch from one breed to the other, it's also good that you give a space of 3 batches before you do that. Let's say if you start with Agritech and you want to start like January that you can allow it till maybe March, and then maybe from April you can switch to maybe Aboika or COP 500 depending on the company, and then you'll be able to tell yourself how well you had fared with it, because most of the times we are dealing with different breeds, and these different breeds have their strain. So if not well curtailed, you will definitely have an influx or an epidemic in your farm. So get your quality chicks. And if you in case you don't know how to get your quality chicks, do well to drop a comment the comment section, or you can reach out to us through any of our social media platforms, and then we can assist you or get you to someone around your area so that you can get the best form of quality chicks. Number 3, which is N, stands for nutrition. For birds to meet their performance targets, be it daily or weekly, nutrition is key, as giving the birds quality balanced feed is important. Even if you meal your feeds yourself, or you buy already processed feeds from commercial brands, go for the best, and even at that, give them fresh. I try to target my feed suppliers when they bring new feeds into their shop so that I can get those feeds very fresh. Also, nutrition also involves clean water, as clean water too is nutritional to birds. So doing that, I suggest, as a practice, will help. One other thing when it has to do with water, especially when giving it to our birds, I, as a farmer, if you have watched my previous videos, you would have heard me say it, and it's a practice I can't do without. I always boil my water, especially for the first 2 weeks. Trust me, all problems they have within their brooding stage mostly comes from the water you give to them. So boiling your water will go a long way in helping you to stay safe and your birds stay safe from every other thing that would want to be a problem to them. The next letter is P, which stands for personnel. Poultry farming, especially broiler production, requires close monitoring, observation, and supervision. Therefore, you would need workers, be it yourself, and for you to ensure that, you need to get the best of hands on the job. And the reason is because you need to train them periodically, and that's one of the problems we have in most poultry farms. Most farmers engage staff and then they move on with a particular training without any form of update, and which is quite bad. So you should be able to train them periodically. You yourself need the training, and your workers also need the training. Necessary information as regards the business should be given to them. We all know that change is constant, especially in the broiler business. Also, be nice to your personnel, be nice to your workers. I know it's hard to find the right staff, but once you get the best, please try to be nice to them. Giving of, aside from their salaries, giving of incentives like gifts, even on their birthdays, even to their friends or to their family members, those gifts will go a long way to enhance their efficiency and effectiveness. When we come back, I'll be addressing the other letters. Stay tuned. Welcome back. I hope you've not forgotten the sequence of the letters we've been using, but in case you have, let me put you through it again. We have H, Q, N, P, FP, BS, EM, and EM. And in case you have forgotten what those letters stand for, I'm going to take you through especially the ones we've treated before now. H stands for housing, Q for quality chicks, N for nutrition, P for personnel. Now let's move on to FP, feeding pattern. Wow. This is also an area broiler farmers need to understand, as it also promotes broiler performance and productivity. It's expected to feed ad libitum for birds from 0 to 2 weeks, but I extend mine to 3 weeks, making it 0 to 3 weeks. By ad libitum, I'm saying feeding them all through the day, morning and night. But from the 4th week, I don't feed them ad libitum again. I only use this pattern which has always worked for me, especially when they ask me those questions, how do you get your birds that big? Well, this is the pattern in case you want to know. I feed them in the morning from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. and from 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. What I do is that I don't feed my birds in the afternoon from week 4. Now, this is because I allow the birds in the afternoon to rest. Some will want to play, some will want to relax and stretch themselves. And this would help them, because feeding them in the afternoon, I notice that sometimes in the afternoon they will just eat and then drink water and then they'll want to play. And before you know, you find the bird falling down and that's all. And I found out that had to deal with sudden death syndrome, because it was like kind of a choke with the food and their breast, especially at their crop. And I found out that ever since I started using this particular feeding pattern, the birds were coming up to speed. With the fact that I would always sort after the first 3 weeks, I noticed that employing the feeding pattern by feeding them in the morning, withdrawing the feed in the afternoon, and allowing only water or vitamins with them, it allowed them to eat, especially when they saw the food. Once I bring the food trough down in the morning, the feeders down, they are all eating. By the time I raise it up, they are doing other things. They are resting, they are playing. By the time I bring it back in the evening, everybody at the word go is eating. So you see that it brings the birds up to speed, and everybody will be eating at the same time. None will be resting while others are eating. That's what causes those early shooters, and you find those late maturers, as we want to call them. So please, feeding pattern is always important. Like I said, I feed mine from 6 a.m. to 1 p.m. and then from 1 p.m. I withdraw their feed and then resume feeding them by 7 p.m. to 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Please, you should try it. You'll be surprised at what you'll see. BS stands for biosecurity. Well, effective management practices that promote cleanliness and hygiene is what biosecurity is all about. Biosecurity measures are non-negotiable for a farmer that desires remarkable results. I repeat, remarkable results, because they are non-negotiable. It's not like when you want to go and do all those labor, I no go gree, or this year's no gree for anybody. If you don't gree for biosecurity, you will cry, you will cry. I'm just saying it. And if you want to know more about biosecurity, I have treated it in my previous videos. I think I'll drop the link behind in the comment box so that you can just go through it, because biosecurity goes even beyond fumigation and the rest. Anyway, I'll look back at it when we're looking at EM, but biosecurity is something you shouldn't joke with in the farm, because it's very, very important. Now let's come to EM. The EM, the first of the EM there, is effective management. This is the follow-up of the biosecurity that we looked at, which is BS. The whole process of the broiler farming is on effective management, and that's what this EM stands for. This includes your rules and regulations. What you know are your do's and don'ts. When you come to the farm, this is what you do, and this is what you do. When these are your your operational biosecurity measures. When you come, before you get anything to the farm, you need to wash your hands. You need to wear the right gear. Everything you need to do. You don't just go and start touching birds randomly. Even when your buyers come, for my buyers, when they come to my farm, the first thing you do is you wash your hands, make your hands clean before you have contact with any of the birds. So effective management goes a long way. It tells you on how your feeding pattern should be, the kind of drugs you should give, the equipment you should use, how you should use your equipment to sterilize your equipment. Like, take for instance, most of us don't know that It's good enough as an effective management process that even if you have 5 drinkers, it's good to have beyond the number of drinkers. And that's because you could use the first 5. Take, for instance, your five drinkers are enough for you to administer the Gomboro or the Lasota vaccine to your birds. And then most people would immediately after giving out the vaccine will want to just rinse those buckets, the containers again, and give it to them, forgetting that there might be some form of residue. So it's also good as an effective management practice to have extra drinkers or have extra feeders so that you can also wash those ones and air them while you use the new ones and serve to your birds. And it enhances biosecurity. Like I said, effective management even ensures how you do your things in the farm, how your personnel act, whether you're there or not. Effective management is your operational base, and so you shouldn't joke with it. It's all about what you want from your farm. The last one, EM, is where I want to dwell on, and that has to do with effective marketing. Trust me, working so hard to raise the birds to maturity only for you not to have begun sales immediately can be so frustrating, demoralizing, and, to use the last word, annoying. Well, you'll just get angry with yourself. If every time I give my views on this, especially when I did that with the broiler challenge, you should check the broiler challenge. I really addressed this particular issue, but I'll just give some tips on it. Always, I repeat, always, just as I do, start your marketing of your birds from week 3. I start mine from week 3, and I'm very, very aggressive. We are so blessed these days, especially with the fact that technology has come to stay. Use the social media platforms. Use your video. That's what you're holding the video phone for. The camera on your video on your phone is for it. Snap your birds, weigh them, make a video of them, post on your social media platforms. Use cliches like, oh, these are my birds, they are 3 weeks and they are weighing 900 grams or they are weighing 1.4. Oh, just get ready. By week 5, they are going to be out for sales because they'll be weighing this and be weighing that. Give good themes and clips to it. And trust me, you would have buyers keep in touch with you, trying to tell you, please let me be the first to know when your birds are ready. Those were the kind of messages I got when I started marketing. Don't start marketing at week 6. Don't even start, if you are keeping for 8 weeks, don't even start marketing at week 8. No, it's a wrong approach. Start from week 3. You can allow the first week, the second week to be silent enough so that you can have your time to focus on your birds. But from week 3, you can start making clips. I do that, showing people that these are my birds, this is how they are growing, and entice them, persuade them. It's called marketing. You're showcasing. So use the internet very well. There's WhatsApp status, there's Instagram, there's Facebook. Do it. Take your business globally, and definitely you'll see the results that you will get. You see, it would give you so many things that you didn't expect. It's not about going round there. Yes, we know we have the one-on-one contact marketing, but trust me, the digital aspect of it, man, goes a long way, even more than what you could desire. Well, I hope you've been able to understand all of this that I've been able to bring to you, especially the use of these letters: H for housing, Q for quality chicks, N for nutrition, P for personnel, FP for feeding pattern, BS for biosecurity, the first EM for effective management, and the last EM, which is the second EM and the second sequence of these letters, for effective marketing. Well, just like every debate would always say while we're in school, I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that if you apply these letters, trust me, 2024 will be your best year, irrespective of how high the prices of feeds are and how DOCs are or how the economy is. If you apply this sequence into use, trust me, you will make it and you'll scale it. And when you do, please drop the comments in the video box and let us know. For us, it's all about giving you content, identity through quality. It's what Elders Agro Integrated Services is all about. See you in our next video, because we'll be bringing a whole lot of content to you. Bye.